So we know the Biden administration and the last 3 years have been tumultuous. I mean, to say the least. Now, we've known also that he is senile, he's old, and he really is probably not running the show. But now, not only are the conservatives saying that, the Democrats are saying that, the liberals are saying that. This is what scares me, really scares me, is the fact that they're going to definitely replace him or simply say, oh, he's not, he's not fit to run. We're going to let him just go and be his feeble self and take care of his family, and this person's going to run. That scares me worse than actually Biden staying in to run. Here's why. Let's jump into the video today. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on 2024, and I absolutely think you probably feel the same way. Let's talk about today. This video starts right now. Guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here this morning. If you are new to the channel, there is a subscribe button right here. Please press it. If not, that's okay. At least give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or at least like us talking together, because I think when we bounce ideas off each other, when we watch each other, when we spend time in our community commenting below, it helps us build a wiser, more common sense approach as we kind of go through this world we live in. And 2024 is no different. It's even crazier than the previous years. Now, there's been a lot happen this last week. In case you missed it, of course, we've been threatened by nuclear satellite destruction, which is EMP. Can it happen? Can it not? Here's one thing I always say about this kind of stuff. Be prepared. If it happens, then you are prepared, or be prepared more than your neighbor. If it doesn't happen, then you're prepared and you're sitting there with a great insurance policy of food, alternative energy, and all the things that we talk about stockpiling. So things like that scare you, but you have ways to prepare. Now, when we talk about 2024 on the election side, something we've saw for 3 years, we've saw a very volatile leadership. We've seen a very feeble old man that's weak across the world, which has made the bad guys just kind of have their way across the world. And now we're kind of living through those ramifications from the Houthi situation in Iran, because we cut policies and cut the way that Trump was leading, and all of a sudden we opened the door back to this situation that this Iran deal that Biden and Obama put up. They opened it back up. We cut down executive actions towards the border. So we've seen all that. We've seen how bad that is. We see the fact now that Russia is in Ukraine. That's all bad. Every one of us knew that this was going to take place. I mean, come on now. He's been a career politician for 50 years and absolutely has done nothing but get rich. So it makes no sense to think that he's all of a sudden going to change policies and start doing something for the American people. But here's the difference. Trump had a very good 4 years, other than the 2020 time frame of shutting it down. He made a bad decision there. Trust me, I believe that. For someone who loves liberty and freedom, and to be honest with you, we were in South Mississippi, so we didn't actually feel the lockdowns like some of y'all did in these liberal areas. But all the while, I think it was a bad decision to give the reins to Fauci. The thing, though, is this. We've seen leadership from Trump, which was a lot better than we see the leadership with Biden. Now, most people would say, well, we're getting jobs and our economy's looking better. Well, two things about that. Your jobs are mostly part-time work and government jobs. The fact that the stock market's going up, that's almost like a melt up or a reverse market crash, because the rich are getting richer, the hedge funds are doing better, the tech sector is doing better. However, you are not feeling that because you're feeling the ramifications of inflation and interest. So it's actually not getting better on Main Street, maybe on Wall Street, but not Main Street. We see all those problems. We see the chaos at the border. So if it comes down to Trump years versus Biden years, I think Trump's a shoo-in. That's where I come to this point of the video, where I hope it still stays a senile old man versus a bombastic old man. And everybody's kind of seen this pair again. You get your diehard Trump people and your leftist loons who believe that Biden is correct. Ultimately, it's going to come down to the independent, like it always does. I think most independent loved Trump, and I think they voted for him. I think when they saw his bombasticness, I think they thought, well, I guess we need to kind of balance it back out with Biden. I think that was an absolute horrendous decision. And now I think they see, okay, we made a foolish decision. I can't stay doing the same thing. We've got to go with Trump again, because if you compare the 3 to 4 years, Trump's was a lot better. So I believe when we talk Biden versus Trump and the scenarios that we're in, I think Trump is a shoo-in to win unless things are dishonest. And we'll go and put that out there. Now here's the problem. Here's the surprise and the worry that I truly have. The Democrats are turning on Biden right now. They're opening more investigations. They're opening the doors to hear about, the special investigation, how he thinks that Biden's senile. You're hearing the fact of the mental capabilities. You're seeing his own team know he's got dementia, but still put him out in front of the press late in the afternoon. You see him, they're putting him out walking in front of people so he looks like a feeble old man. You see him actually being in front of the camera more than he was when he was getting elected. He stayed in his basement the whole time. So what does that mean? That means they are literally putting him out front. I think he's not going along with the plan of actually backing down and letting someone else lead. So I think the Democrats are going to say, well, you know what? It's not working. The game plan's failing, so now it's time just to run him right through the ringer and let people see who he really is, see how weak he is, see how corrupted situations he's in, and therefore it allows us as Democrats to say, well, it's time for you to get out and let's find someone else. I think that's actually what they're doing, is trying to turn the base basically against Biden. The problem with that is Trump is really a flawed candidate too. Not for the people that are conservative, but for the rhinos anyway. They don't like Trump. The establishment does not like Trump. Now, would they vote for him over Biden? I don't know. I don't know the McConnells and Romneys. I don't think so. But for most Republicans, they'd say, we're going to still support him, even though they're not fans of him. I guess that's what I'm saying. But all of a sudden you throw a wrench in with RFK, which could possibly hurt Trump from the people like the middle ground. But here's what would really hurt Trump, is the fact that all of a sudden Biden gets replaced with someone that is more popular. Now, not popular as in doing good jobs, but more popular as in wins the leftist heart, kind of rattles the base back up and makes them go against the Trump base. And also that new face. So it makes it where people say, oh, I'm so tired of seeing Trump Biden. I'll go with this guy because he's something different. I'll go with this lady because she's something different. So in comes people like the Obamas, Gavin Newsom. We think that they should not have power because really California's a failed state, and Obama's years really was not good in America. However, politics play such a crazy game in our minds that all of a sudden we just believe that they're going to all of a sudden do something different. It's kind of like Biden. Been in leadership for 50 years. Bernie Sanders been in leadership for 50 years. So all of a sudden, let's give them a chance because they're going to change their way. It's not going to happen. Same way with Newsom and Obama. Both of them are not good candidates. However, they have charisma, they have likability, and they actually are something quote unquote new. So that scares me because I don't know if Trump's strength is to, he likes to just, he panders, but he also is very bombastic in his opinions. Well, with all this stuff going on, people are saying, well, all these court cases, even though actually the court cases are kind of coming up in his favor, but say all of a sudden they're just like, oh man, I'm getting tired of this. I need to go with something new, not the Biden. Let's go with someone new. And that's not going to be RFK, even though, again, Kennedy is not a bad guy. He's a lot better than Biden or Newsom or Obama. But I think that they're gonna lean towards Obama and Newsom because of their charisma, because of all the things they bring to the table. Don't tell me they're not running silently because, again, Gavin Newsom's meeting with dignitaries all across the world. Gavin Newsom is going to all these fundraiser events. He's showing up in places like even the Republican National Committee debate and debating Republicans. So he is preparing himself, quote unquote, for 2028, but actually he's really preparing himself for 2024. Obama, he sent out letters to donors. People don't know this, but he sent out letters to donors and big players to see, get their feelers out. Well, what is he doing that for? It ain't to build up Biden or Newsom. It's really to get his feelers out about Michelle, because this would give Obama third term, also would give them to keep pushing that initiative that they've been pushing with this globalist agenda for a long time now. What that does is, remember, Newsom and Obama both have that star power, that charisma that's going to attract all main news cycles, all social media other than maybe Twitter. And so it's going to make people drawn to that and see the coverage. And all of a sudden, if they have the default of the good press and Trump has the default of the bad press always in court, it's going to make all those independents who are not truly paying attention move right to the Democrats. That's what scares me the most. So I hope that Republicans will shut up and quit trying to push the fact that Biden needs to go. I think that's a bad play. I actually think that's a play against Trump when these rhinos are saying, oh, let's get Biden out. Let's impeach him. That's actually not good. Don't do that. Let him be the one that's going to run, because I think Trump stands a way better chance running against a feeble old man than running against someone like Newsom or Obama. Now, this brings up another fact. I know Trump has met with Kennedy, or sources say with Kennedy. I know Trump's met with Gabbard. I know Trump's met with some more middle-of-the-road people. I actually don't think this plays in Trump's favor. I think he needs to find a VP that is just like him. And I know that's typical non-traditional. I know most people look, well, he gets the conservative votes if he picks Pence. He gets the rhinos if he picks Barr. I think he's going to do this because it grabs this state. I think you need to get away from that. Get away from all that, well, I got to pick a female just because that looks better on me. I got to pick a African-American because that looks better on me. I think all that's a farce. Tim Scott's not going to bring anything to the table. Kristi Noem's not going to bring anything to the table. You've got a conservative state. You've got another conservative state. It's not going to help you any. Here's what you do. You pick on people who believe in what you're doing. Here's my thoughts. I might be completely wrong. I think you can look at Kari Lake, Vivek Ramaswamy, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, someone like those people that are diehard Trump fans that believe in what he's doing and also have that kind of same populist sentiment. You don't need an establishment guy or establishment girl. You don't need someone who's just like everybody else. Actually, I love DeSantis. I really do. I don't think DeSantis is a good pick because DeSantis and him are two different people, and I don't know if they would complement each other well. Now, DeSantis has got a good thing going in Florida, so I don't even know if DeSantis would be a good cabinet fit. If he goes VP, of course, I love DeSantis, but I don't know if they mesh together well like him and Vivek would, or him and Kari Lake would, or him and Sarah Huckabee Sanders would. But I do think DeSantis has a good play for 2028. I think he needs to stay on the good graces and work alongside Trump. And I think that could benefit him more. But when you start hearing all these names that, oh, well, we need to get this guy, this guy, this girl, because it's going to win this state, that's a farce. The VP is not a big of a deal. I mean, look at Kamala, as it used to be. But I do believe if you find someone who complements you, that could actually bring more star power to your side when you're going to get somebody like Obama or Newsom, especially when it comes to debating, doing the press, and being as sharp as what Kari Lake or Sarah Huckabee Sanders or Vivek is. All three of those are pretty strong when it comes to being with the press. They've been around it. They're the populist style mentality. I think they could do a really good job. So that's my thoughts. Now, if it's DeSantis, if it's Tim Scott, I love Ben Carson. I'm a huge Ben Carson fan. I don't know if he brings the star power. I think he would be a great HHS secretary. I think he would be a great Secretary of State because he brings so much clarity and so much brilliance to a cabinet position. So when I talk about these names, it's not that I'm against anyone else, but Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, they're not conservatives. They're independent thinkers. And I know Trump is not the most conservative, but if you're wanting to build up the conservative brand and kind of the future of the party, you have to find someone on the conservative side. I mean, like Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's got something going great. Why would he want to get in politics when he's got something so huge with this Tucker Carlson network? So I don't believe that's the move either. But I do believe you can utilize them as great surrogates. But I really think you need to lean on Vivek, you need to lean on Huckabee Sanders, or you need to lean on Kari Lake. I think all those would be strong. Vivek would definitely be my strong point of being the most populist and the one who can handle himself just about in any situation. Brilliant guy. I think could be really good, especially the fact that because Kari Lake's got a good thing going, she could end up being in the Senate. Of course, Sanders being the governor of Arkansas, again, good things going there. DeSantis, again, I don't think it's a good play for him because I believe Florida is very strong and they love DeSantis. I think they love him stronger as a governor than they would a president. So that's my goal. That's my thoughts. I think this is where Trump can stand strong, is to get someone just like him. I think the best case scenario for Trump is to run against Biden, and I hope that Republicans will quit pushing for Biden to get out. Yes, tumultuous next few months. We could see bad things, but Kamala would be way worse. And then all of a sudden, if you bring the star power of Newsom and Michelle Obama, I think this could actually hurt us worse when it comes down to the ticket. And actually, they're more left than Biden. So that would scare me. So give me your thoughts. Am I wrong? Am I right? Are these the two people that's going to lead the Democrat Party? I think you'd see a Nikki Haley move over there. I actually think you would actually see a Tulsi Gabbard kind of move towards the independent or liberal way too. It would not surprise me if you see Tulsi Gabbard become VP choice for RFK. I think you're going to see a very weird next few months. But the best case scenario for Trump would be leaving the same two guys that's in the race right now, RFK and Biden, and I think he stands the best chance against those two versus going someone like a star power of Michelle or Newsom. They're both very unsuccessful when it comes to checking records. However, they have the press on their side, they have the media on their side, they have the fact of the likability, the charisma on their side, and I think that I would rather see Biden or Hillary versus Gavin or Michelle. Give me your thoughts. Am I wrong? Am I right? I love talking. I know people say, well, why do you talk politics, or why do you talk, you know, this part of prepping? Why don't you talk more current events? Why don't you do just survival? I think the benefit of what we do is we learn what's going on in the world, and that helps us to prepare. It's kind of like the Russia situation the other day, where all of a sudden we got a Russia threat going. Well, if you prepare for it and you know the news and you're prepared for what may happen, then you're ready for it. But if you never know the news and you were not prepared for it, then you're gonna be like every other American, running around crazy in a panic zone if something like that actually did happen. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Give me your thoughts on this video. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.